Hello, hello. It is Kitty Shambliss here. I am excited to be here with you for our Facebook Live today. We like to have this topic come up every few weeks or so because a lot of times I do get a question of how to select a coach. So just got to keep it real. I've been doing this work for about 10 years now. And when I started doing this work, there was actually very few coaches who specialized in open relationships. And now with especially the last couple of years, what's interesting is also post COVID. During COVID, our group online, it's a private group, anyone can join it. It's called Loving Without Boundaries, Healthy Open Relationships and Lifestyle Freedom on Facebook. It's a private group. We literally exploded that group during COVID. And it makes sense, right? Because people were climbing the walls and just trying to figure out, how is this relationship going to work? I'm stuck in my home with my partner and we're fighting all the time. And now we're starting to think about opening up our relationship. We're not sure how to do that. We don't know what we're doing. And so our group exploded. And then about 2 years ago, there have just been an onslaught of a lot of people who kind of overnight are like, hey, I'm a coach. Guess what? I help open relationships. I help people in untraditional marriages. And that's great. That's great that there are more people out there in the helping profession, but how do you select the right one for you? Because it's one thing to say you're a coach, it's another to have letters after your name to be some sort of certified coach. And then it's a completely another thing to create outstanding results for your clients and be a successful professional. Because at the end of the day, it really is all about results. That's the most important thing. So when you think about it with coaches, there can be different skill sets that a coach needs to have. For some, they might understand a little bit of strategy. Maybe they understand how to give you some tools. Maybe they can teach you some different things. And then also the second skill set is they may understand a little bit about psychology. Those are two different skill sets. But very few coaches ever get to a master level of coaching where they can really help people understand how to get full on results in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of suffering. And also, very few coaches have a whole structure and a proven step by step system to get you from where you are now with their particular niche and what they help you with to where you want to be. So, the people that I work with, I'm helping people to live their most authentic lives, free from jealousy and insecurity, as well as free from shame and guilt, and also free from the pain of ongoing infidelity in the open relationship and sex positivity space so that they feel unstoppable and they fall back in love with themselves. Because sometimes it's not necessarily about saving the relationships. Sometimes it's about saving yourself because people can also get in codependent dynamics and start to lose themselves. So let's get back to how to select a coach. So um, I'm going to give you some questions that you can ask as you're interviewing and talking with and seeing if you are a fit with a particular mentor or coach. And if you're also wondering what's the difference between coaching versus therapy, if you go to my website, Loving Without Boundaries, and you type that into the search box on the blog, we have a couple different articles that talk about the difference between coaching and therapy. I'm not going to get into that right here on this. But so question number one is, have they created the results that you are after? Have they created those results for themselves? So in the space I'm in, having healthy, happy, open relationships. So that's number one. Have they created that for themselves? Yes or no? Make it a pass or a fail question. So that's question number one. Question number two, have they done it for other people? Have they been able, it's one thing to create it in your own life, but can you guide, can you teach, can you coach through all the ups and downs with other people? Yes or no? Do they have a proven track record of success? And success can look very different ways. Like sometimes success is repairing and healing relationships. Sometimes success is when they realize that they might be in an abusive situation and they need to leave or they need to reboot that situation. So have they done it for themselves? Have they done it for other people? Those are the first two questions. The third question is, have they done it for a long period of time? And there's two prongs to that. Have they been coaching for a long period of time? And how long have they been in their current relationships? So just to give you a frame of reference. So again, there's a lot of coaches who haven't been doing it for a long period of time. They just kind of raised their hand, opened up shop like a week ago, right? So I have been doing coaching for over a decade now. And a lot of times people think that polyamory and open relationships don't work. So just going to give you an example. I've been with my husband for 21 plus years. It'll actually be 22 this summer. And we have been married for 18 and a half years. It'll be 19 this fall. And we have been open for almost all of that time in some way, shape, or form. And then I've been with my other partner. We've been living together for about 9 years or so, and we've been together. It'll be 10 years this fall. So and he's been with his wife for 3 decades. And then my husband has another partner that he's been with for 12 years. So just to illustrate to you that polyamory and open relationships can work for the long haul. So these are some questions that you can be asking to evaluate your coach. And I'll give you one more in just a second, because most coaches maybe haven't done it for themselves. And that's also why a lot of people come to me after traditional talk therapy or counseling has not worked. Some interesting statistics: about 50% of people that go to a traditional talk therapist feel pathologized, meaning they feel worse, very shameful for the life they're living. And also only 20% of the average therapist is well-versed on consensual non-monogamy or polyamory at all, had any training at all, let alone are living that life themselves. So that's what's interesting. Same thing with coaches. Many have not created the results that they want for themselves. They might only have a little bit of theory. And then you have other people who have done it for themselves, but they haven't done it for other people. So, and then there's that length of time aspect as well. And then the fourth question is, do they really care about you? Do they care about you as a human being? Do they care about your heart, your struggles? So that's the last piece, is they've really got to care about you. Because sometimes you might find a unicorn coach that might have a great skill set, a great mindset, but they may not actually care about you and your actual results. So that's really important. Do they have a whole process and a system that makes sure that you're getting world-class support? Because sometimes people are just after the money grab, getting on the big stages, getting written about in different magazines or publications, but they don't actually care about you and your results. Are they going to be there for you when the chips are down? Will they really serve you? They've got to have your back all the way. So those are the 4 questions for how to pick a coach. Have they done it for themselves? Yes or no? The results that you want. Have they done it for other people? Yes or no? Do they have a proven track record? Have they been doing this for a long period of time? Both the coaching as well as their healthy relationships. And the last piece, do they really care about you and your results? Are they going to be there for you when the chips are down? So that's what I wanted to share with you first. And then I also want to talk about what does it mean when a coach has fancy letters after their name? So for example, I have MCC after my name, which stands for Master Certified Coach. I also have CPC, that stands for Certified Professional Coach, as well as TIC, which stands for Trauma Informed Coach. So I have those 3 different sets of letters after my name, and they are hard earned. So think about these statistics. There are something like, I think it's 70,000 coaches on the entire planet. And out of those 70,000 coaches, about 50,000 are in the ICF community, which is the International Coaching Federation, because the coaching industry is different than a therapist. It's a, generally speaking, unregulated industry. Somebody can say they are a coach and they could have 0 training whatsoever. So getting certified through the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, which has high standards, is really, really important and can illustrate that you are with a huge high quality coach. So at the ICF, there are 50,000 members. Only 42,000 are holding any credential at all. About 56% are at the lowest level, which is ACC, Associate Coaching Professional. That means that you only need about 100 hours of coaching. About 40% are at the next level up, which is PCC. That stands for Professional Coach, Certified Coach. And there you only need 500 hours to get to that level, along with all the other standards that you have to meet. Then there's only 4% that are at the highest level. That's where I'm at. That's at the MCC level. That stands for Master Certified Coach. Last I checked, there were only 1,075 coaches at the MCC level in the entire world. And as far as I know, I'm the only one that specializes in open relationships, consensual non-monogamy, and polyamory. And it's an absolute honor and a privilege and a joy to be able to say that and to be able to give back to this community that I value and cherish so very much. So that's really, really amazing. And just please know that I've been doing this longer than hardly anybody else that I know, besides, like, say, Esther Perel, right? And I know that Esther Perel, I mean, to work with her, it's like $2,000 a session, just for one session, right? So normally you're not going to be able to work with Esther Perel directly, so then you've got to find the best coach that you can have access to, that is really does care about you and that is accessible in some way. So I've been doing this a really long time. I have the formal education at that master's level, that there's only that I'm in the top 0.1% of all coaches, by the way, that are at that level, which is crazy. And it takes a dedication and a ton of time and hours. It's very expensive, both in time and energy, to get to that level. And I did it because I want to make sure that my clients are getting the best results as possible. And that's why on my website, there are a ton of beautiful, amazing testimonials by the incredible people that I get to work with. I just did an interview this week with a lovely, amazing human named Corey. That's online if you want to see that interview. Such a big heart this man has, and he completely transformed himself. He wasn't able to save his relationship, but he was able to save himself. And that's sometimes what this work is all about. So, and know that that's exactly what this is all about, is helping my clients get better results in less time with the least amount of suffering, so that they get back the love, the passion, the confidence, the dignity, the respect, the sense of self-worth, remembering that they are lovable and they deserve to live their best life that works for them, even when they're coloring outside of the lines of heteronormative monogamy. So that's what this is all about. And I've lived this myself. I have been on countless stages, just helping people all across the United States so far to help them live their most authentic lives. And I'm absolutely an expert in this field, and it is an absolute honor to be here. So if you are looking for support, if you are needing help and you want to have less fear, more joy, and better results in your relationships, even when you are practicing some sort of untraditional open relationship, whether it's polyamory, relationship anarchy, what have you, then feel free to book a call at that link that is on the screen, lovingwithoutboundaries.com/apply. And know that I am here for you. And when you go to that link, it will simply just take you to my calendar. You'll pick a time that works for you. And also you will have a brief intake form to fill out, just to set us up for success on that call, so that I get to learn a little bit more about you, so that we can really respect each other's time. And we'll get on that call. I'll see where you're at. Can I help you? And if I can, we'll talk about a plan to possibly move forward, and I'll explain what that looks like, how that coaching relationship will work, because it is also built on trust, right? And we're going to start building that trust right on that first call. And if we're not a fit, that's okay too. Or if the timing isn't right, you have my word that I will let you know that, and I will do my best to steer you in the best direction for you, so that you do get the help and the clarity that you reached out to me for. Because at the end of the day, I'm in a helping profession, and I want to be able to steer you in the best place, no matter where you are at. And In the meantime, if you are struggling, go ahead and book that call. Or if you're not quite ready for that, feel free to join our private community. We can be found on Facebook. If you do a search for Loving Without Boundaries, Healthy Open Relationships and Lifestyle Freedom, we have over 15,000 amazing people who are there getting the support that they need, finding community. We have lots of resources in that group as well. And I'm also doing Facebook Lives streamed across different channels like this too, to make sure that you're getting the help that you need. So with that, I will leave it there. And just as a reminder that, remember, community is everything. You made a great decision by watching this streamed video or the recording, or by coming into our community. Know that you are not alone, especially in the world that we're living in today. Community is everything. And I really believe that together we are stronger. So don't give up in living your most authentic life. Know that I am here for you, and know that my whole community and team is here to support you on your journey to live your most authentic life. So with that, I will leave it here and tip my hat to you. And until next time, take care.